This is really a blast. It is great to be here today. And there are so many people who have been a part of this. And I really want to thank just, a few people just to start out with. Started out with Dr. Varshney. He was the first person that I talked to. Actually, he was second. I went to Lori Locascio and I said, how do we bring AI and artificial intelligence into drug discovery and all these things that I'd seen happening? And she said, quantum's not ready. Go see Dr. Varshney at the University of Maryland about AI. And so he set up a meeting. And I remember from the very first meeting, his reaction to this is, yes, we ought to do it. And that was the beginning of it. And his response was so enthusiastic, and the toys he showed me were so interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if he's ever shown you how he can turn a building into something that does not look like the building, and that you would not know what the building was. You could change Rockville Pike overnight, and it would all be lights and mirrors. But I'm just very excited to be here today, and I want to thank Daryl Pines from the university, especially Bruce, Gerald, thank you. And I know Dr. Perman's not here, but Dr. Perman's support was really critical to getting this going. So there are a lot of people who have done an amazing job to get us this far. I want to thank the federal delegation for their support for IHC with the $3 million earmark. I want to thank the council members who've been supportive of the IHC with unanimous support to get the county started with a $40 million commitment over 5 years. And I want to thank the state legislative delegation, which passed the legislation that will provide ongoing support for this. I think we know why this matters. It's developed a vision for North Bethesda that I looked at, right after I got elected, because I was concerned we didn't get Amazon, but we had an amazing place that could be redeveloped, and the attention it got told me this was the right place to try to do things. There's no other place in Montgomery County where you could pull something like this off at this scale. And so we started talking about it, and my goal was to eventually turn this place into the rough equivalent of a Kendall Square. I'd gotten up to see what Boston had done in an urban environment, and this was a place where you could build that if you had the vision to do that. And I know working with WMATA, we're working with the developers to find the developer for the first phase of development on the WMATA property. But the WMATA property is actually ultimately a small piece of all the property up here that can be redeveloped. So this is, really exciting, and I want to thank everybody in the University of Maryland medical system, because they came along not in the beginning, but they came along after we were in process of thinking about this, and their role is really important. Your data sets about people in the state of Maryland and what the health of this community are astounding. And the ability to apply AI to that data is going to be game-changing, and I just want to thank you for doing that. I don't think any other jurisdiction right now in this country can outcompete Montgomery County on the proximity to the federal government, the trained workforce, and a cluster of life sciences companies. And I'll say that it is a real privilege in these strange days of America to be in a room where everybody in the room actually believes in science. You all get it. You see the possibility and you see the future. And it astounds me that there are people who do not understand what we're capable of. It's like a complete, misconception of what human beings are capable of doing. And I always wish that people in the normal world could see what you all are doing so they understood the possibilities of what people could do, not just theory, not just machinery, but the ability to recreate the world in a way that would be a better world. And science is the doorway to that. And we're in the middle of one of those doorways. We needed this academic partner, and it was huge that we could get the match. The University of Maryland is well known. Your AI and quantum stuff is great. That made you really a logical partner for this. And I'm really happy that we also achieved something we had looked for in Montgomery County, which is bringing an academic research institution into Montgomery County. We did not have that before. We were the only life sciences cluster in the country not anchored by graduate level research. And so this brings us to the door of graduate level research here in Montgomery County. And it is going to make a difference here. We also hope the Institute, with its research internships and fellowship opportunities, will help us expand our life sciences and tech workforce. That's another thing that's critical for Montgomery County. We've been doing this, but we've also opened up a GMP manufacturing training facility so we can train workers to do this kind of work. So we're working on the functional level of academic research, but we're also looking at putting the pieces in place on the ground that'll help us do the things that we want to do. So it's great on the second anniversary that this is up and running. You have over 70 research and support staff here on site. You have 17 interns, and you've established partnerships with a number of private companies, which you're going to hear about more in a moment. And I think this is big news. The IHC has already had one faculty spinoff of a company. So already things are beginning to happen. So I just want to thank everybody in this awesome group of people for making this possible, for understanding and being able to see what was possible and to step out of our comfort zones and say, why not? And this partnership we've built with Dr. Pines, Dr. Gerald, Dr. Suntha, and their colleagues is going to create a much brighter future, not just for the county, but for the state of Maryland, and by implication of this work for the rest of the world. So you all are amazing. I am really excited to be here with you and been looking forward to this. So cutting the ribbon on the second anniversary will be fun. Thank you.